The detailed Justice Department court filing about the FBI's Mar-a-Lago search includes a sworn statement from a Trump lawyer that all sensitive documents had been returned to the government. And it includes this eye-popping photograph showing they most certainly had not all been returned to the government. Once again, choosing time for Republicans. The Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney sees, quote, yet more indefensible conduct by the former president. But Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee, who are led by Trump ally Jim Jordan, want you to ignore all those documents that belong under government lock and key, tweeting that Time magazine cover was a huge threat to national security. And listen here, this is South Dakota's Republican Governor Kristi Noem this morning, not raising questions about Trump, but about the FBI.
I don't know if the DOJ and FBI can be trusted to tell us what was in there. That's the thing. You can see folders, you can see big words on the. Do we know that that is really what President Trump brought to his home? Do we know that he put them there? Do we know what's inside?
With me now to share their reporting and their insights, Tarini Parti of the Wall Street Journal, Jackie Kucinich of the Daily Beast, and Yasmin Abutaleb of the Washington Post. Big words, Kristi Noem says. Well, some of those are just initials that talk about human sources overseas, that if they are undermined could do grave harm to them personally and to U.S. national security. But there are some Trump Republicans who just want to say no big deal.
I think there are a shrinking number of Republicans who are willing to say this is no big deal and to come out and defend the president. Jim Jordan is, of course, one of the former president's staunchest allies. But I think you're also seeing even President Biden more willing to engage on this issue. He's kind of wanted to stay away from it to not appear political, that he has somehow directed DOJ to investigate a former potential political opponent. And he's even spoken, pretty forcefully at this point about the threats on the FBI and the rhetoric coming from Republicans like Jim Jordan and other Trump allies attacking DOJ and FBI, saying it's a witch hunt or that there's no there there.
Is there any rethink among the most, Yasmin makes a very important point, there's a shrinking number who are willing to step up and say there's no there there. If we could put that photo back on the screen, Jim Jordan would be the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. He would be a chairman of a committee that is in charge of looking at and reviewing executive branch actions, passing laws itself, reviewing executive branch actions. He wants you to focus on the far right of the screen. There's a box full of Time magazine covers. On the floor right there are incredibly sensitive documents that belong to the United States government, not to Donald J. Trump. It's not serious. You can, if you want to try to find a way to defend Trump, fine, but it's just not serious to point to the Time cover and ignore the mass of that photo.
That Twitter account in particular has been one that has served as more of a function of trolling than actual evidence gathering. And you have to imagine if Jim Jordan does end up leading the House Judiciary Committee, it will be more focused on the Biden administration than the Trump administration, as that role tends to be when the opposite party is in charge. However, the threats that the FBI and other law enforcement are experiencing are real. They're serious. They're intense. And I think that's why you saw some Trump allies, like a Lindsey Graham, who Biden sort of mentioned yesterday, not by name, try to backtrack a little bit about what he said. I mean, it was already out there. Who knows if anyone saw the backtrack? But there is an acknowledgement that this sort of language isn't good, particularly for the Republican brand of being for law enforcement as they push, but also for these law enforcement individuals who are putting themselves out there in harm's way.